Elad Barak, he's the CEO, Voyager Products.
Hey, yeah, let me just share my screen. Awesome, everyone can see it? Great, so let's start. Thanks everyone for joining today. We're really excited being here, pitching in the hot investor seat. Hope to meet some investors and that you'll be interested, and happy to hear your thoughts. Yeah. Disclaimer, and I'll start with presenting the team quickly from right to left. Aryan, our president, has more than 30 years of experience in blue chip companies. He worked for Procter & Gamble. He was president at Cara and ran the Mars food business here in Canada. Gio, our COO, has a lot of experience from big projects back in Peru, including constructions across the Andes, and also had some consulting work here with 48 North, one of the cannabis brands in Canada. And myself, originally from Israel, I have a lot of experience in technology. I worked in the aerospace industry there, and ever since I'm in Canada, I'm doing biz dev the last 2.5 years in cannabis beverages. And before we really talk about what Voyager does, I really want to mention kind of what we're trying to solve. And there's a lot of reasons why people use cannabis. When you ask them, they know to describe it. But when you look at who's consuming cannabis, turns out that most of us are not consuming yet. And on the bottom left, you can see that 61% of the population is not consuming cannabis yet, 17% are new consumers. And there's a bunch of reasons why. If it's, they don't want to vape and smoke, they're bad, afraid of bad experiences, lack of guidance, exactly like Mandy just mentioned. People are afraid even to consume CBD because they're not sure about what it's going to be and what the effect will be on them. So we saw an opportunity that consumers are looking for something that is safe, simple, and precise. And the way we envision the solution is a pocket-sized dispenser that allows consumers to either consume cannabis as beverage drops, which you add to your beverage, or oil drops that you take sublingually. And here's how it works. So I'll start from picture one. You take the dispenser and the pod, connect them together. You put it above your favorite beverage, you press a button, and you get the exact amount of cannabis into your beverage. And all that's left is to enjoy. It's simple, precise, and portable. And we added a cool control feature. So everything connects to an app, and from the front end, consumers can monitor their consumption, they can personalize the experience, and they can get education on different choices that exist in this ecosystem. But the interesting part is on the back end, where we as Voyager can really track consumption, ID consumer habits and trends, and improve the offerings together with the partners we're working with. And all of this is based on our proprietary technology. We have a bunch of unique features that allow us to make this product work. I'll just mention a few of them. I really like the safety feature, so we made sure that there's no chance to take liquid out of the pod without the dispenser. And then we added a password on the dispenser. So if somebody has a kid, we can approach them as well because they're sure their kid will not be able to use this. We have some smart technology, meaning our pods can communicate with the dispenser communicates with our app, and then the app communicates with us. And we're already 3% plus minus accurate, which is an amazing achievement, and hoping to improve that in the future. But this technology allows us to build a unique business model. And it works like this. We as Voyager manufacture the pods and the dispensers, but we're an ecosystem where our role is to push these dispensers out to the market, make sure that people have dispensers. That's the razor and the razor and blade model. And then together with our partners, we put pods in the market with brands. So we will have a Voyager brand, but we will also have partners joining us, very similar to what Tesmo did, or in the cannabis industry, what Paxera did. And essentially, Voyager does its profit from selling pods, whether ours or our partners. And utilizing these partners is how we grow very quickly. And I'll start with our financials in Canada. And the reason you're seeing this growth is because we're bringing 6 recreational partners. We're bringing them over 3 years. The first one will join half a year after us, the second a year, and then every 3 months. So we're not kind of over exaggerating it. And I will mention that if you're interested, please follow us on LinkedIn, because in the next few weeks, we will have a very interesting announcement regarding partnerships. And then on the left side, we are talking about our expansion. Since we don't touch the plant, we actually have a co-packer. We're just a technology company. It is very easy for us to move to the States and to Europe and to just duplicate our model that allows us to quickly bring more consumers. We're here looking to raise $5 million at a pre-money valuation of $20 million. We're looking to give a 25% discount for the first $1.5 million that comes in. And I just want to mention that all of our numbers are in Canadian dollars. So for American investors, it will be a bit cheaper. You have a discount embedded. And we're going to utilize this money for, first of all, putting our product on the market by Q1 2021. And we're aiming to break even by the third quarter. And I want to mention there's a big chunk here for inventory. There's two reasons for that. One is we need to put dispensers on the market, and the first dispensers will be free or discounted. And then the first batches of pods will be a bit more expensive. But it's not all spent in one day. It's actually spent across the full year. And these financials will support us for at least till the end of 2021. Quick look at our roadmap. We just submitted our non-provisional patent about a month ago. We're ready to submit a Health Canada new product notification with our co-packer. And by October, we aim to have a ready to manufacture and do a sensory test with an LP here in Canada and be in market in the first quarter. And with that, I want to move to Q&A. Thank you very much.
Great timing. I'm really excited about the data. That was a great presentation. Investor judges, what do you guys got?
Well, may I lead?
Yes.
I have the type of business partner that wouldn't bet three pit bulls against a French poodle without identifying all the downside risks. What do you see as the greatest threats to your model?
That's a tough question. But I would say, everybody's talking about will consumers purchase a dispenser? There's that issue, but we're seeing trends in the market where consumers are leaving the disposable vape pens because they don't like it for both the cost that comes with it and then the part of recycling. So I hope that's a challenge that we'll be able to solve. The other thing we're doing is we're aiming to solve our dispenser at cost. So it costs us around $20 to manufacture the dispenser. We put most of our costs there to keep our pods at a low cost for us and sell it almost at cost. So it will be sold for 50 Canadian dollars, and hopefully we can overcome that challenge that way.
Put a Pez head on top of it and sell it to the yuppies. They'll love it. Good work.
Thanks.
Does anybody else have any questions? I think somebody had some questions about accurate dosing, but I will let those questions get answered in the chat box. Any other questions from investor judges before we move on?
Yeah, I got a quick question. This is Doug with Silverleaf. Just wanted to know a little bit. I see that you've got a provisional patent. Where was that patent filed? And is that going to be an international patent? Or is that just going to be for Canada? And what exactly does that cover? I mean, obviously, as you know, you're not the first one to try to work on the accurate dosing. There's another Canadian company that I think was failed to get their product to market, and then there's one here in the United States. So I'd like to drill in a little bit more about the patents. But by the way, nice job, Elad. There was, I think it was a very professional presentation that kind of walked us through a lot of information in a very short period of time.
Thanks, Douglas. And it's great seeing you and the same, John. So we have submitted a non-provisional. We had two provisional patents. We converted them to keep the first date of the non-provisional, which was submitted in July 2019. So we converted them to a non-provisional. They're submitted in the US and they're a PCT. We did the international prep for both Europe and Canada. What the patent covers is there's kind of two folds, right? First of all, there's the dispenser pod idea. But on top of that, we have a bunch of all kinds of claims we did that we really believe are important. I can give a few examples just to kind of give a flavor. First of all, we have our own proprietary pump to create this accuracy, but I'll do something that's a bit easier to understand and high level. We need to make sure there's never bubbles in our pods, air bubbles, to make sure it's accurate. And we have a way to make sure that the dispenser will never work if it's not accurately directed with the ground. So those are the kind of things that if you don't think about them, your pod will never be accurate eventually. And I hope that those things that we claim will be granted, and then we will be able to prevent other competitors from doing the same.
Okay, thank you.
Love it. Anybody else? Any last questions?
Hi, Elad. It's Frank Sid, Crouching. Question, how much money to date have you guys raised to put this product together? And in regards to, I know Doug just mentioned that there was another company that tried to do something, I guess similar, but can you speak a bit on the market and competition that is out there for you in Canada and the States? Yeah,
sure. So we raised in 2019 $630,000 $2,000 and safe note convertibles. And that's all we raised. We still have money in the bank. We're kind of frugal with our money. And then from a competition perspective, so I'm putting aside other cannabis options that are not an accurate dispenser. Obviously, they're also competition. But looking under dispensing mechanisms, we know about accurate vaping. Dispensing liquid, there's only one company in the States called Aria, but they only have one picture on their website, nothing more. I'm not really sure if there's anything more than that. I have not met anybody that has a product like ours, definitely not a working one. So I have here a working product. Because of the screen, it's hard to show, but it's very, very small and it's accurate. So,
Krishnan, I can see the wheels spinning. You got a question?
Yeah. I'm just curious as to, what studies you've done to determine product market fit, and what types of consumers, and how are you, I guess, defining your addressable market, and how does that relate to your revenue projections?
yeah, I have a lot of answers that will probably be too long to answer here. I'll try to kind of summarize a few points. I'll start with the fact that it's kind of like, you just can see the numbers. When you look into the numbers in the market here in Canada, you can see that if you take the same type of cannabis oil and put it in a capsule, the price increases by 60%. Yes, 60%. When you put it in a bottle of spray, which consumers don't really like, the price goes down. So you see there's a method of consumption. We know consumers obviously prefer the syringes and droppers over the bottles that just give you a drop each time. And that's going to be the regulation here in Canada. So that's from a numbers perspective, we can kind of see there's a need for accuracy and convenience, and people are willing to pay 60% more. But we've also done a research where we spread out like a questionnaire to a bunch of people, and we saw an increase in intent to purchase by 15% before we explained the product till after. And we also know from one of the licensed producers we're speaking with that 95% of their complaints that they're getting are about their consumers saying that they don't know how to use the syringe. It's not accurate.